Hello again guys, GoPRichD, and welcome to another squad builder. And it's going to be a bit of a different squad builder today. As you can probably already tell by the title, it is an ex-Chelsea FC squad builder. And this is a thing I want to start doing on my channel, like making teams from ex-players. So I might want to do an ex-Arsenal, ex-Liverpool, teams like that. Things that I think are really interesting. I think it would be really interesting to try and kind of make teams with all the players that have left the big clubs in the recent years. If you really want to see that series idea, and if you have a team that you want to see me build an ex-squad of, just leave it in the comments and I will make it for you, because I'll just make all of them just to get the series off the ground type thing. But I'm starting with the team I support, Chelsea FC, and in goal we have Carlo Cudicini, and this guy is a really good keeper. I wouldn't say that good on the game, but for Chelsea when he played for him, he was a top quality keeper. 72 diving, 76 reflexes, 76 handling, 75 reflexes and 75 positioning. Now this guy is a pretty decent keeper, and as I was saying, when he played for Chelsea, he was outstanding. Made the odd mistake, but I think everyone can admit he was one of the best keepers in the Premier League, if not the best keeper during his times with Chelsea. And he moved in 2009. He left Chelsea in 2009 to join Tottenham Hotspur, and of course now he is at LA Galaxy. I don't follow the MLS, so I don't know how he's doing, but let's hope he does well, because he's a top quality keeper. Next up we've got William Gallas, the man who I don't think knows how to stay at a team, or knows how to knows loyalty between clubs. He has 51 pace, 78 defending and 78 heading, and this guy left Chelsea in 2006 to join Arsenal, and then of course now he's at Tottenham. And like I was saying, I don't think he knows what loyalty between clubs in. I mean, he left Chelsea to go to Arsenal, which are rivals, and then he left Arsenal to join their biggest rivals, Tottenham. Not the best decision, William Gallas. But next centre-back is a player who's really poor in this game, really didn't like using him. It is Robert Huth. He has 64 pace, 79 defending and 78 heading. And this guy, now at Stoke City, he originally left Chelsea to go to Middlesbrough in 2006. He was playing for Chelsea as a 21-year-old. I saw him play a couple of times when I used to go quite regularly. He's a really good player in real life, but not so much on the game. I really rate this guy in real life, and I think that if Chelsea had kept him, I don't think he would have been up to the standards of like John Terry or Gary Cahill then, but I don't think he would have been far off if he had stayed at Chelsea. But we've obviously let him go now. And then at right back we've got two options. We have Basingwa, the contract rebel at QPR, or we have Glenn Johnson. I went for Glenn Johnson for obvious reasons. 87 pace, 75 passing, 76 dribbling, 74 defending and 74 heading. And this player is one of only, I think, two players that I'd actually consider putting in a proper squad if I was going to build a proper squad. He's really good. I'm really upset that we haven't kept him, to be honest. He left in 2007 to join Harry Redknapp's Portsmouth. It was Harry Redknapp's Portsmouth at the time. That's when they had players like Defoe and Peter Crouch, players like that. So it was a pretty wise move at the time. And next up we have the left back from Manchester City. It says Brighton, but he's on loan from Manchester City. It is Wayne Bridge. Really poor stats in this game. He has lost a lot of his pace, 53 pace there, but 74 passing, 73 defending, and 73 heading, of not bad stats at all. Of course, he does get remembered nowadays mostly for his little argument with John Terry over, I think it was his ex-wife or ex-girlfriend who he had a child with. I thought it was all a bit silly, but there's a lot of jokes coming out of that now. But he's actually a really good left back and was pretty good for Chelsea at the time. And he cost me very cheap as well, so very good player. Left mid is a left winger. We have Scott Sinclair, the money bag himself. He's really decent, probably my favourite player in this team. 89 pace, 69 shooting, 82 dribbling, and they're really his main stats. This guy is probably the best player in the team, like I just said, along with probably one of the strikers. Yeah, he left for Swansea City in 2010, where he hit the ground running incredibly well. He was of course moaning because Chelsea weren't playing, so we finally let him leave, and he played amazingly well. But now he's joined Man City, obviously for the money, and he's been a bench warmer, which I think everyone expected. But I think Scott Sinclair will get his career back on track in the next couple of years. Centre mid is probably one of the worst signings Chelsea have made in the last 10 years. It is Steve Sidwell. He eventually left to go to Aston Villa in 2008, and we signed him from Reading, but he is just, I don't get why we signed him. At the time when I found out we were signing him from Reading, I was completely shocked. I mean, he was in form in the Premier League playing for Reading, but just an awful signing. I think he only started about 10 times. He might have not even started that many times, and he only stayed with us for the 07-08 season. Next player is a player who did not just stay briefly. He was a Chelsea legend, Joe Cole. 67 pace, 73 shooting, 77 passing, and 81 dribbling. And this man is a legend. I've actually got him in one of my Chelsea shirts that I bought. I think it was in 2007 I bought it, the fluorescent green away shirt, if any Chelsea fans can remember that. And yeah, Joe Cole, legend. He's got some really important goals. I always remember the back heel at Old Trafford where Didier Drogba actually scored an offside goal, and that set us for the title. And Sir Alex Ferguson still cries about that today. He was talking about that a couple of weeks ago, actually. But Joe Cole, absolute legend, probably the biggest Chelsea legend in this whole team. Right mid, we have another good player, though. Damien Duff, 75 pace, 73 shooting, 78 passing, 83 dribbling. I always remember this guy. He scored in the first Chelsea game I ever went to, Chelsea vs Everton, 2005. I believe I was 9 or 10 years old, and he scored in a 1-0 win. He's kind of travelled around the Premier League. He eventually left Chelsea to go to Newcastle in 2006, and now he is at Fulham, or Fulham as the Americans would say. He's a pretty decent player in this game, though. I like him. He's probably the main, well, it's actually the biggest standout in this team, biggest surprise. I mean, striker. First striker is Carlton Cole, 71 pace, 68 shooting, 69 dribbling, and 76 heading. And this is the player, one of my favourite players in the team that I was talking about, along with Scott Sinclair. He is a beast on this game. I don't know why. It's just something about him was really good. He eventually left Chelsea to go to West Ham in 2006. He was at Chelsea as a very young player, and he's another player that I really do think, if we had kept him, he could have gone on to great things with Chelsea. But I think some other Chelsea fans might have split opinions on that. But he's a pretty decent player, pretty cheap on this game as well. I actually thought he was a gold originally, but he was a gold on FIFA 12 and he's been downgraded, but he's really quite down the pecking order at West Ham at the moment. Next striker is a player who's also down the pecking order at his current club. It is Fabio Barini, 83 pace, 73 shooting, 77 dribbling and 71 heading, and this guy is also pretty decent on the game. Didn't score any goals with him though, and I wouldn't go and buy him again. In fact, he wasn't that decent at all. But at Liverpool, I believe they play him in the left wing role, so I don't get why he's a striker on this game. But he was a really, really good player for Swansea. I remember when he went on loan. Then he moved to Rome in 2011, but he's back in the Prem now to be reunited with the former Chelsea coach himself, Brendan Rodgers, not the Chelsea first team manager, but he was like a reserve team coach, I believe. He's a pretty decent player in real life. I think he will do well for Liverpool eventually. Let's hope so, because I like him as a player. Then on the bench, we have two of my favourite Chelsea players in the time I've been supporting them. I've been supporting them for about 15 years, guys. And these two are Alex and Kalou. Alex will always be remembered for his power free kicks, most notably in the Champions League. I think it was against Arsenal. In fact, no, it might have been against Liverpool. And Solomon Kalou, just a player that I really liked. You know when you just really like a player, guys? That was what me and Solomon Kalou had, a kind of just really likiness, if that's a word. And then we have left mid, a guy that I really didn't like. I hated that guy. Yuri Zirkov, probably my most hated player who's ever played for Chelsea in the time I've been supporting them. I really didn't like him. Then we have Thiago, who I can't really remember much about, and that isn't really a good thing. Belarus and Jose Basingo to complete the bench, and of course we could have Lissana Diarra and a few other players. But guys, this video is coming to an end. We're just going to top it up with a Roberto Di Matteo, a manager that I love as the manager, has never been sacked. This video is coming to an end. Please leave a like. More on the giveaway tomorrow. Goodbye.